Michigan, Ohio State. The game. Josh, thoughts?
So I don't think it's easy, but I think.
What are you doing, Josh?
No, look, I love it.
No, Josh.
It's the Rivalry Week Pick'em Show. And in a week like this, with so much on the line, with so much hate and also love, which we all know hate is just a different form of love. I think we can all agree on that. We had to bring on the best guest possible. And the best guy that we could think of was our good friend. You see him on the Josh Pate College Football Show. You see him everywhere. I saw Avocados from Mexico talking to him the other day. You get your free tank of gas apparently at Quick Trip. Our buddy Josh Pate. Put your hands together for Joshua Pate, everybody. Put your hands together.
Every time I'm hanging out with the Avocados from Mexico and I ask you to keep it confidential, every single time.
They have too good of a jingle, Josh.
Yeah, they do. But, I mean, that's the only – I was going to say one other thing about what happened in Mexico with us, but I'm not going to bring that up right now because it has implications further reaching than Avocados, which are better than what I thought. My wife's turned me on to them, by the way. All right. Before we get into these picks, because it's a huge slate, it's an amazing slate. God hath given us our cup runneth over. Mm-hmm. It runneth over this weekend. Just want to ask you quickly, Josh, just straight up, Lane Kiffin, he's staying or is he going, man? You don't even have to tell me where. Is he staying or is he going?
I have a chapstick here. That's what I'm willing to bet on this. I would bet that he leaves. I would bet that he exits. Yeah. Notice I didn't say what I think he should do. But what I think he will do is leave. He just wanted this for so long, man. Think about it. If you wanted to date someone for so long, to move somewhere for so long, a job for so long, and it was no. And then all of a sudden, hey, do you still want that thing you've always wanted? It's really hard to get there. And then all of a sudden say, never mind.
Yeah, it's just like, look, I mean, you can only message Sydney Sweeney so much, and then you fall in love and get married, and all of a sudden, 2 years into a pretty good marriage, she hits you up on Instagram. Like,
yeah, hey, sorry, I didn't see this the other day, but yeah, hey.
Yeah, my fault. I don't think you hold your whole fan base hostage for a week during Rivalry Week and then stay. But I've always said about Lane Kiffin, Cone, it's hard for me to read a poker player that doesn't even look at his own cards.
Wow.
That's the best way I think you can describe it.
Yeah, exactly, because then you're going blind against the other player. I have no idea what he's going to do. I tend to agree with Josh, just what's transpired over the last week. I think he will come to regret it, but that's just me.
Blaine, let's say Ole Miss
Lane Kiffin is going to coach at LSU. Is this sitting tough, fellas? I don't need Oppenheimer to come tell me what's going on. Lane's going to go coach at LSU.
It was so nice how eloquently everyone else put it, and then the dude with 3/4 gone in the 2-liter Coke back there in the open closet just dive bombs the chat. He's going to LSU.
Full disclosure, this is my cousin's room.
Hey, but Blaine's
make sure to rag on him.
Blaine's the guy at the intervention that doesn't start out his letter with "you know how much we love you and how much you mean to us." He just goes right into the problems you're creating for everybody else. Yeah. Like there's no fluff at the beginning in the letter. It's just all personal right off the top from the top rope. Which look, I respect that. Like he said, Josh, he said coming into Rivalry Week when we did the previews of these games. At the end of the day, typically I come into this unbiased, but this week y'all can suck it, and that's just what I think he meant it 100%.
Respectfully, yeah.
Respectfully. All right. So let's start off. We got 6 games here to pick, okay? Let's start off with one in Atlanta. It's not a home game, technically, for either one of these teams, however you want to look at it. Georgia Tech coming off that heartbreaker, the loss that's probably going to keep them out of the ACC championship and the college football playoff. They're hosting Georgia, who, in my opinion, is in regardless. I think they could lose this, and a 10-2 Georgia still gets in. But obviously, they want to keep their hopes alive for the SEC championship. Blaine, what is the spread on this, and what is the total? If you don't have it, I have it because I'm a dual threat guy.
Well, I have it because it's my job. It opened up at minus 13.5. Remember, this is a 2:30 game. Minus 13.5. Georgia right now is sitting at minus 13.5. The total opened at 59.5, and that also is sitting at 59.5. Not a lot of movement there. Money line going on for Georgia Tech at plus 450.
All right, Josh, let's start with you. We know the game last year had 37 overtimes. Haynes King is Private Doss from Hacksaw Ridge. He just keeps going up, like Blaine says, without a gun and trying to save people. And you can respect that. Does Georgia Tech pull it off this weekend?
I can give you every one of my picks in 30 seconds or less. This one is my simple question. Number one, Is this really what college football has come to? We sacrifice home games, move them down the street for $12 million? Rhetorical. Secondly, I ask, is there a way Georgia Tech can keep Georgia from scoring 40? Because if they really need to, Georgia's scoring 40 plus. And I just don't know that Tech's doing that. Haynes King legacy game last year, I thought in a loss that was about as valiant as any player I've ever seen. Yeah. Surprised he's still alive, but amazing. He could do that again, and they'd still need a lot more. So I'm taking Georgia to win. I would take Georgia to cover in the game too.
Blaine, what do you think? Georgia Tech.
I'm gonna take Georgia to win this football game. I think it's gonna be a little closer than what people think. I think Haynes King, he's impossible to kill. They might be down 28 in the fourth quarter, and they might end up losing by 13 at the end of it. I think Georgia's gonna handle most of the game, but I think Georgia Tech's gonna have a little run late. Give me Georgia to win, but Georgia Tech to cover.
Coney.
Georgia Tech is a lot like Game of Thrones, an awesome story for a long time, and then it falls off at the end. And it's not just losing 2 of the last 3. Remember, Boston College pushed them to the absolute brink as well. I'll take Georgia, and I'll take Georgia big.
Yeah, the sad irony here for Georgia Tech is that in a year where Georgia's defense isn't as elite as it's been in the past, and you have the one of the best offenses in the country, and you should be able, I think, to move the ball. The only problem is you also have one of the worst defenses in the country, and Georgia has one of the best offenses that they've had in a long time. So to most of y'all's points, I just don't see a way that Georgia Tech keeps Georgia under 40, and that game last year just gives Kirby more tackling fuel to give to the guy about how serious to take this game, and with everything that's on the line in the rivalry. I think Georgia runs away with this one, guys. I've got Georgia 48-24 in this one. I think they double them up. I think it's ugly early. It's probably over by halftime. All right, let's move on to the most underrated rivalry in all of college football. Yeah, that's what I believe. You may not believe it. You reserve the right to be wrong. I always say that. Mississippi State is hosting Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl. Blaine, give me the side, give me the total.
All right, right now this game opened as 11 o'clock game, open -7.5 Ole Miss. It is still sitting -7.5 Ole Miss. Open at 62.5 for the total. Still sitting at 62.5. Money lane the under right now. Money line for Mississippi State is +225.
Josh, Jeff Lebby, I think we can agree, has done a pretty good job in this roster, and you can see the improvement and the growth in year 2. I think if Kamario Taylor can just figure out how to throw it okay, he is going to be a problem for the next couple years in this league, and Lebby will be able to mold him into somebody that I think can be balanced. But just like we said about Georgia Tech, how in the hell is Mississippi State going to stop Ole Miss from scoring? I don't care if you have one of Lane's legs that's coaching.
Yeah, and the problem here is you could just run it all afternoon, evening, night, whenever you kick the game off against Mississippi State here, if you're Ole Miss. And so that's what I worry about. The other thing is maybe an outsider that has a 50,000-foot view of this game is thinking, oh, man, I love the home dog here with a distracted Ole Miss. I really don't think they're distracted. I think the fans are. I think the administration is. The team's been fine. Everybody else whose coach has been involved in coaching search conversations has faltered down the stretch. And Ole Miss, there's such a carefree attitude. It's like the poker player that doesn't look at his cards. There's almost like a nonchalantness that works to their benefit during moments like these. So I think they'll win by double digits. I'll take Ole Miss, lay the points.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss is in an open marriage with their fans right now. That's the way. Cone, again, to his point,
it's just so accurate. I don't know what it's just so accurate.
It is, isn't it? 100%. Like, look, yeah, you meant that. Just bring him on. I'm not going to join, but we can. Yeah, I'm not going to be pissed either. Cone. Again, let's move on from open marriages here. You get a little taste of everything here at Crain & Company, pun intended. All right, I'm done. David, when you look at this Ole Miss team, what's funny to me is, distractions matter in preparation. Nobody's going to be running a post route at Ole Miss thinking about if Lane Kiffin's going to leave them or not, correct?
Yeah, true. I mean, if you just ask me who the better football team was, obviously I think all of us would say Ole Miss, and they've overperformed everyone's expectations. I could watch Kejuan Lacey run the football every single day. Trinidad Chambliss has been an awesome story. But that scenario that Josh Pate laid out there with distracted Ole Miss, whether or not they are, I mean, you got players saying, well, our coach is flying around the country possibly interviewing for jobs. It's not just that, and it's not just that the game is going to be at Mississippi State, but also it's a Mississippi State team trying to get to 6 wins and go bowling. Give me the upset in this one. I'll take the Bulldogs.
David.
Wait, are they going to miss the playoff if that happens?
That's the question we talked about last night. Jake said, look, if they lose the Egg Bowl, I think Ole Miss is going to slip. I think it's circumstantial. Does Michigan win? Does Vanderbilt win? What does Miami do? I think the committee would love to have Miami find a way to win the ACC, because then they got to put them in. Then you have a big brand team that is, quote unquote, a bid stealer. It's going to be circumstantial at the end. Right now, I think Ole Miss is in regardless.
Look, if it was me, I would have Ole Miss in regardless. I'm just looking at the teams that are right behind them, behind them, including a team that that they beat in Oklahoma that I think they would still fall behind. At least that's what the committee's shown.
Wait, they beat, you're talking about a head-to-head result on the field.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just when you lose.
Doesn't matter. Keep your stupid games. I got a calculator that I need to explain to you. That's
There's common opponents, Josh. Forget your head-to-head.
Yeah, it's like Joey and Booger said last night about Miami and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Look at their common opponent. It's Pitt. It's like
Syracuse and Pitt.
Yeah. Bro, they played each other. What are we talking
about? I never thought I'd have a
that.
70-year-old from the playoff committee do 6-7.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah,
that ended last night. Thankfully, it ended in that moment. It
died. It died the death it deserved. On the Mississippi State point, Blaine, before we get to you, I think this is where the depth aspect of Jeff Lebby's roster is not where it's going to be yet. That's why I think you're seeing this fall off toward the end of the season. We saw it a little bit with Vandy last year, right? When that depth starts to hit, when you get into the back half of the season, I think we're seeing that with Mississippi State. It's a continued work in progress. I like Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss comes out and plays well. I really do. I wouldn't be shocked if it was a little tight early, but I think Ole Miss ends up running away with it and covering. Blaine, what do you got?
Cone, I absolutely love this pick. Good for you, brother. Good for you. Yeah, I think Ole Miss belt to ass here.
Okay, BTA.
Close. I think Ole Miss can have a blindfold and two hands tied behind their back and win by 17.
Woo!
Can you tell, when I extend my hand like this, can you tell I've got my hand on Cone's shoulder, just smiling at him as he picks up this?
Hey,
just
come on, son. Come on, Mississippi State. We're in this together. We're in this together.
Somebody's got to put the money on green at the roulette table.
I will say this, from a dog pick standpoint, that's the guy right there. He's been the guy all year.
Yeah.
Why not let's stay hot during rivalry week? Let's just stay hot.
Nobody's hit more dogs since Michael Vick when it comes
now you've crossed a line.
Is that the line?
And I'm in Georgia right now. You've crossed a line.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, you turned it around. Let's go Norfolk State. All right, next game. Rivalry week is delicious, but not as delicious as what our friends over at Good Ranchers got cooked up for you to send to you. We all know it's holiday season, right? Whatever type of meat you're eating, you need to trust it. It needs to be American sourced. All right, we don't want it coming on some boat over here from a place we don't trust. All right, we want it right here with our local American farmers. 100% American meat from local farms and ranches, delivered straight to your door. It's fantastic. Chicken, beef, pork. I mean, Cone, Blaine, we've lived this life. We've lived the Good Ranchers life for over 3 years. And it just keeps on giving. They're the Santa Claus of meats.
It doesn't get any
that's
better.
a good way to put it.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than this. And I'm pretty sure there's a deal behind it too, Crain.
Well, wait a minute. But wait, there's more. If you subscribe to any Good Ranchers box today and use code BOOSTER, you get additional $100 off your first 3 orders, $40 off your first, $30 off your second, $30 off your third with our code and free meat for life when you subscribe. So go to goodranchers.com this holiday season. Again, use code BOOSTER, BOOSTER. Get that fantastic deal. Get some fantastic meat. Goodranchers.com. Let's get back to the table. How about this one, boys? If I would have told you when we got to the Texas, I'll start with you, Josh, after we get the side and total here, though. If I would have told you that Texas A&M would be playing Texas and one team was 11-0 and the other one was 8-3, there's no way in the world that most people would have said A&M is the 11-0 team. Josh, but before your input on this one, Blaine, give us the side, give us the total.
Right now, this game opened at -2.5, 6:30 game. -2.5 Texas A&M, over under at 51.5. Both these lines are sitting the same. Right now, Texas money line going off at +110.
JP, talk to me here. What do you like? What does it smell like to you?
There's 7 billion people on the planet. I get it's a big world, a lot of different tastes, a lot of different interests. I don't understand how you're not watching this game Friday night. What life do you have to be living if you're not watching this Friday night? So what I love about A&M, and I'm going to pick them, and I'm going to lay the small total here, so I'll just spoil it for you. The reason I love A&M in this spot is what I've talked about with them all year. They've won every kind of game you could possibly win. They won the blowout. they won the shootout rather against Notre Dame. They won the slugfest against Auburn. They were down 4 scores against, check that, 4 scores against South Carolina, come from behind. So they've had to do it all. And so what I love here is they get an opportunity to really like punch their ticket. They punch their ticket to Atlanta. They punch their ticket to the playoff. They kind of already have, but they get to do it in Austin. I guarantee if you polled those people, they love playing at Kyle Field. They love College Station. I think they want to play at Texas. I think they want this game. They got their best team. They got their best shot. I think they want to do it in Austin.
Especially after what happened to him last year. I mean, there was a ton riding on it last year, Coney. Look, we broke this game down. We previewed it. We cannot wait for it. What do you think?
Man, how cool is this? Since in the 2 years that Texas has joined the SEC, both iterations of this game have massive implications to be able to go to the SEC championship game. I absolutely love it. And I love this Texas A&M team. And to Josh's point, they've won in so many different ways. And you can only do that if you're focused and you have resiliency. There's just something about me with this game being in Austin that thinks Steve Sarkisian has one more card up his sleeve somewhere, finds a way to win this game with Texas A&M needing to win to go to the SEC championship, and they're not already locked into that kind of, that makes it a lot more interesting. I do think they're locked into the college football playoff, but man, I think Texas finds a way to pull this one off.
Blaine?
Yeah, I'm going with A&M on this one. I think Marcel Reed is the difference. I still Arch Manning, look, he's gotten better, but I still think he's not there yet. I think Marcel Reed's the best chaos quarterback in the country. When it all breaks down, that's when he's at his best. Give me A&M. It's going to be close. I think Texas comes to play, obviously, but Marcel Reed's the difference for me.
Hey, just really quickly, you know how everyone's putting out their brackets and their hypothetical projections and stuff like that, and you try and run all the scenarios in your head. No one that I've seen has projected A&M hosting a playoff game because they all have them going to the SEC title game, and whether they win or lose, they're going to have the first round bye. If they just lose this game, they're not going to Atlanta, right? Which means they would be a shoo-in to host a playoff game. Yeah. And yet, I don't know that I've seen many brackets out there that even explore that possibility. Kyle Field hosting a playoff game. That's a nice little consolation prize if you can't get it done Friday.
100%. Look, the mayor of College Station, I don't think would mind that if that were to happen. I don't think any of them would. Listen, I expected A&M to have a really good year. They finally came through for me this year. Marcel Reed, Blaine brings it up. When it comes to improvisation, he's the Ryan Stiles of college football. He's the Will Ferrell of college football. He's one of the best improv guys we've seen. I do worry a little bit that A&M has shown some chinks in the armor at times. They've been able to come back and win these games, and obviously that means a lot. But there's just my gut is telling me that Arch finds a way to create this mega momentum going into next year, and we get to just recycle this as being the best team in the country and this, that, or the other. I think Texas at home finds a way, and I think it's because of turnovers. I think something fluky happens.
Let's go.
I think something fluky happens. Block field goal return for a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, interception return for a touchdown, and Texas wins by 1. Something nuts is going to happen in this game that decides it at the end. I think Texas wins it, and A&M hosts a college football playoff game, and then we get to hear all offseason about how Arch figured it out. He is going to be the next Tim Tebow. He's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and they're going to be the greatest team that's ever played in college football next year.
I just didn't think from a special teams guy that I would hear a block field goal return for a touchdown. It's fluky. I'm going to go ahead and make sure to write that down and save that for later.
Well, I mean, look at how many times it happens. Would you consider it a fluky play if it happens?
I feel like it's good. I feel like it's good scheming on the defensive special team side of the ball. That would just be me and a lot of coaches.
Well, two things can be true at once, Blaine. Come on, we know this. Two things can happen at once. All right, let's go to another game. I can't believe I'm going to set this up this way. Tennessee trying to knock off Vandy's college football playoff hopes. Yes, college football playoff hopes, not baseball, not soccer, not algebra or whatever else they got going, reading, whatever else they do over there. Blaine, the Diego Pavians, what is the side?
Yep.
What is the total?
2:30 game here at Tennessee. It opened at -3.5 for the Vols. It is still sitting at -3.5. The total is sitting at 65.5, open at 64.5. So not a lot of movement. Vanderbilt money line going off at +135.
Yosh, Diego, does he have one more trick up his sleeve?
Yes, he does. I just candidly don't think we've come this far on this ride and this story to just kind of have it fall off the cliff at the end and, nice stroke of the cheek. It was a fun time, but oh well. I think they're going to force the committee's hand. And to do that, they've got to go to Neyland and win. 65.5. What was the total? Mid-60s?
65.5.
Not high enough. So I'll have a little side action on the over here. Both pass defenses in the 100s. So I will take Vandy in sort of like a Diego Pavia, just full DGAF final showing in the regular season for Vanderbilt to win this thing in Knoxville. You could argue it's the biggest win of the program's history. You could argue that.
In anything? Let me ask you this. Would this win in Knoxville, Josh, and you know I'm a baseball guy too, would that be bigger than a Vandy national championship in college baseball?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Look, to me, a Vanderbilt win over Western Kentucky in football is bigger than a baseball national title. So that's just me.
Whoa.
That's just me.
And you played baseball in Harris County. You didn't even wear batting gloves. You're a true.
Yeah.
You're like you.
No BGs for the kid.
That guy, you think this dude wears batting gloves? Absolutely not.
All right. Hey, Coney, what do you think? Vandy going on the road to Tennessee. What a freaking weekend of football, dude. I'm so ready for this.
There's one element of Josh's narrative there that does strike a chord with me, this sort of team of destiny falling off a cliff at the end. I do think, like, man, it's been such a great story for so long. At least forcing the committee's hand would be interesting. This one, though, falls into the camp of I would take the home team. So if it were in Nashville, I'd take Vanderbilt. The fact that it's going to be in Neyland, I think I'm going to ride with Tennessee on this one.
Blaine, talk to me.
Look, I've been on the Vanderbilt train too long to jump off now. Give me Vanderbilt, Diego Pavia. Hopefully Theo Vaughn's there. We'll see. I think it's close, but I think Diego Pavia makes a play late to even amp it up even more to come out with the win.
And vault those Heisman odds up?
Hello.
No,
who knows?
I don't think we're there yet.
You know, as somebody that is the oldest sibling in their family,
Here we go.
you know, if you're the best at one thing, you can't let your little brother show you up. Like every time we come on here, I've got to make sure I try and outplay Blaine, not because I don't love him, right? But at the end of the day, this is what I consider myself the best at, and he's really good at too. But I've got to come out here. I've got to come out here and play my best. I can't get embarrassed. All right. I can't get beat by the little brother. And as much respect as I have for Vandy, I think even Vandy fans would tell you, in reality, they've been little brother at Tennessee for a while. So I think this one's personal. This game's always personal, but it adds another thing if you're a Tennessee player and you're going to have to watch Vandy represent the state in the college football playoff. That's like just letting them walk in your house, take some food out of your fridge, grab the remote, turn on the TV, and slap your wife on the butt. You can't let this happen. I like Tennessee. I think Tennessee may run them. I think Tennessee may run them this weekend to reinforce. Don't forget who daddy is. Don't forget who daddy is. And Theo Vaughn will show up if Diego Pavia's mom's there. She will be, so he will probably be there. I like Tennessee big in this one.
David, how's it going over there in that bearskin hoodie?
How does it look like it's going?
Flexing on them. Wait till you go outside.
I'm warm.
The ultimate form of protection. The smart people, they're locking in their winter gear right now. It's the middle of November, okay? Walk outside, figure it out. We all know this is the best time to not only prep for the coming winter, but you need your stuff pretty much now. I mean, it's freezing in Nashville. That's where Baerskin comes in. Now, they're running a 60% off deal right now, but only if you get this hoodie early, and it's built like a tank. It's the Derrick Henry of hoodies. 340 GSM micro fleece, 10 pockets with a clean, rugged fit. So when it turns cold, wet, and windy, you're not scrambling last minute like Lamar Jackson. Again, we've used it the whole time on fire. It's a Ravens right now.
I want one.
Yeah, you want one? You want one?
Yeah.
Put that hood on, son. So do yourself a favor. Text the word Crain to 36912 to get that 60% off. That's CRAIN to 36912. You'll get a link sent straight to your phone so you can check it out later if you're busy right now. So don't wait until you're freezing to realize your hoodie sucks. Get a Baerskin now while it's 60% off. Text Crain to 36912.
All right, last two. Let's start off with arguably the second greatest rivalry in all of college football. I think we can all 100% agree on this one. It's being played in Ann Arbor, Michigan this weekend, David. Michigan, Ohio State. Blaine, is it still 11.5 or is it down to 10.5?
Right. It opened at 11.5. It is down to minus 9.5. When I'm seeing with the total
9.5. Damn it.
9.5 Ohio State. The total opened at 44.5, and then that is down to 43.5.
Cone, you're going last on this one, so you're gonna have to wait a little bit. Josh, the game, Michigan. What, 4 in a row? 4 in a row? Some could say it led Ohio State to their national championship last year, but let's be honest. I mean, in this game, you don't want no ifs, ands, or buts, right?
Listen to me. 30 degrees at kickoff. Snow. Ann Arbor, Michigan. One team's full of folks that have beaten the other one. The other is full of folks that have never beaten the neighbor to the north. I've picked Ohio State 4 years in a row. I've been made a fool of 4 years in a row. Earlier this year, I picked Oklahoma to beat Michigan. I went to the game. Michigan won. I went in the Michigan locker room afterwards. I remember the looks I got. I remember the stares I got. I'm not doing it again. Michigan will win the game straight up.
What are you doing, Josh?
No, look, I love it.
No,
hey, we should all
Josh.
pick Michigan. Everybody on this show should pick Michigan. Blaine,
Yeah.
the game. Bryce Underwood, Julian saying, what are you saying?
Well, after last year, I said Ohio State was going to obliterate Michigan because Michigan threw a pass.
I think that's a Harry Potter spell.
And
hey, Michigan barely threw a pass, by the way. So you're right about that.
And won. And the amount of intros I've already seen myself get put on. Like I'm sick of pulling up TikTok, and there I am saying Michigan's going to obliterate it, and then there's some cool edit at the end of it. What scares me this year is I feel like everybody's picking Michigan to win. Everybody's picking Michigan to do it when nobody did that last year. All right. And I told myself I wouldn't make the same mistake twice. Well, I'm going to. I'm taking the Buckeyes. I think it's going to be extremely close, but I think the Buckeyes finally figure it out. I know this Michigan team's getting better. Give me Ohio State 24, Michigan 17.
All right, look, I've done a lot of thinking on this game. I actually spent about 20 minutes in the woods yesterday by myself, just with no noise outside of just Mother Nature, just seeing if it will come to me. And I saw this squirrel, David.
I know where this is going.
I saw this squirrel that was looking for something to eat.
Cracking that nut.
And what did he find? What did he find on the ground, David? An acorn. All right. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Ohio State, right? We've all seen the pictures, whatever, the Buckeye. I know it's a dessert too, whatever. You know, Michigan, it's been so impressive, the level of physicality that we've seen from Michigan in this game. Where I am worried is I think one quarterback is going to try and do too much. And I think that quarterback is the one you paid $12 million to come in to continue this winning streak and to take Michigan's offense to the next level, which basically meant you can throw a hitch and complete it. This Ohio State defense, I still think is the best defense in the country. As much as I love Oklahoma, and you got that guy, that shark swimming around in the water back there in Caleb Downs. I think Ohio State's been embarrassed too many times. They know what happened last year, and Blaine brought up a great point when we previewed this game. Ohio State's been trying to beat Michigan the way that Michigan beats people instead of the way that Ohio State beats people. And as long as it works, it doesn't matter. If it's finesse and it works, it doesn't matter. Finesse has a power all of its own. Jeremiah Smith was embarrassed last year. He's a little bit older now, probably the same size, which is scary in its own right, but a little bit older. I think Ohio State wins a low scoring game. I think by not trying to win it the Michigan way, the result will look like they won it the Michigan way. Give me Ohio State 20-14 to win this game. But we all know we've been waiting on David Cohn. All right, former Michigan quarterback. What do you have to say, David? Who do you think?
It's interesting you think they would win a low-scoring game. I think if it's a high-scoring game and a team gets over 30, I think that's how the Buckeyes win for sure. And the scariest part about the Buckeyes to me is I don't truly know how great they can be yet. Like they could run away as the greatest team this season, kind of like they did at the end of last year, and we just haven't seen it yet. But look, in 2021, we all said you can't pick Michigan in this game until Michigan proves they can win this game. And that was the right assessment. And they did prove it. And they have proven it. They've proven it at home. They've proven it on the road. They've proven it when they're a dog. They've proven it when Jim Harbaugh's the coach. They've proven it with an interim coach. They proved it when Sharon Moore is the permanent head coach. They've proven it when a quarterback throws for 60 yards. Like we said last year, they've proven it in good weather. They've proven it in the snow. And so 4 years in a row, and I would just say this, if it were any rivalry across the country, Red River, Georgia, Florida, Iron Bowl, whatever, give me the team that has won this rivalry 4 years in a row. I will take Michigan, and they do have an uphill battle ahead of them. And how else would you want it? Both teams trying to get into the college football playoff and in the Big Ten championship.
All right, last one. Let's get through this one, Josh. I know you're a busy man, my friend, but we could not let you go without picking the Iron Bowl. Auburn with all the chances in the world to ruin Alabama's season at the end of the day. But, Josh, they haven't been able to clutch up. Blaine, quickly, give me the side and the total.
Open that 6:30 game at Jordan-Hare. Open at -3.5 Alabama. Right now I'm seeing it at -6.5 Alabama. A lot of movement there. Open the total at 48.5. It is sitting at 46.5. Money line going off for Auburn at +200.
All right. Josh, thoughts?
I think it's Alabama, Oklahoma all over again with the way the game profiles. Like, I loved Bama to win by double digits against OU. And then the box score looked like I thought it would look. I kind of got the offensive production numbers I thought I would, except one column was -3 turnovers. That was the huge difference in the game. That will be the same difference in this game. If it is a standard played game, then I like Alabama to win. I like them to cover. There is, of course, the Jordan-Hare effect. There is the Alabama offensive line on the road. Like, they were razor sharp against Georgia, but we've also seen them be wobbly. I think Auburn's got a Super Bowl 2-week baked-in game plan here. So I don't think it's easy, but I think in the end, I think Alabama pulls it out and they win by 7, 10, something like that.
David Cohn, thoughts?
I'm excited.
What made this rivalry so cool in the 2010s was Auburn's ability to punch above their weight in those great Nick Saban teams and beat Alabama, even in years where Alabama goes on to win the national championship, particularly when those games were at Jordan-Hare like it's going to be this year. We just haven't seen that in, half a decade now since Auburn's been able to win this football game. I hope we get a good one, but since I'm about to leave here and drive to Florence, Alabama, and I hope that I'm going to eat a Thanksgiving meal there, I'm going to take the Tide so that they let me in.
Good.
Smart move, David. Smart move. All right, Blaine, let's go.
Look,
how you
gotta
feeling?
Be honest here.
Let them know something.
All right, this game isn't about records, rankings, projections. All right, this is the Iron Bowl. The Iron Bowl where logic goes to die. Right? That's what happened. Auburn doesn't need to be the better team on paper to win this game. You need 60 minutes of chaos. That's where Auburn strives. And I think you're going to see that right when that eagle starts flying. Look, give me Auburn. Give me the upset. Give me Jordan-Hare at night. And for the love of God, where they put Deuce Knight in at quarterback, he will be the difference. You're either going to win or lose by 40. But at the end of the day, you hit the gas pedal and you scream America. Give me Auburn. Give me the upset.
Look, I've picked Alabama, I think, the last 3 years in a row, something like that. Been right pretty much every time. I've sat here and said that Auburn doesn't have clutch ability in any phase. If you look, when it's come down to it, Auburn, whether it's Hugh Freeze as the head coach or even DJ, who's, up at Vandy, weren't able to find a way to win games. And that comes down to culture. And I would rather be right, at the end of the day. But there's some weird feeling inside of me that thinks maybe the magic gets reinstated. Maybe Auburn is the boy who lived that doesn't come back to die. Maybe Ashton Daniels could be the answer. I'm more worried about the defense than the offense right now, to be honest with you.
Wow.
I am. Look at the way they played the past 2 weeks, including the first half against Mercer. I've picked Bama. I picked Bama to win the national championship like our friend Josh Pate has as well. It would totally derail my preseason predictions. But I don't give a damn. I don't. Because something's in the air. Something smells for the lemonade's a little bit sweeter, right? That fake tree, it's a little bit realer. This week, I think Auburn, 34-27, beats Alabama. And all of a sudden, Kalen DeBoer is now the worst guy in the world again. I'm picking Auburn, 34-27. How about that? How about them apples, huh? How about them apples at the end of the day? But Josh Pate, one of the best in the biz, my brother. Thank you for joining us on a busy week. You can find him, Josh Pate College Football Show. Just look up his name. It's a brilliant idea by him, Josh Pate College Football Show. I see what you did there. We appreciate you, buddy. Have a fantastic time down in Auburn. And tell the fam I said what's up.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right. Make sure. Yeah,
Thanks,
you
Josh.
hit that subscribe button. You locked into Crain & Company almost to 200,000 subs, which means we're one step closer to 200 million. I like the chances. I mean, not being ready to get my heart broke just like you this weekend. We're going. Gone.